Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to another episode of World of Warships. And yes, I know I'm showing off a replay of some more clan battles, but this is really close and really good, so hopefully you guys will enjoy it. But one of the things I actually want to talk about, and I guess I might as well throw in my 2 cents because I've been playing this game for such a long time. Been in the game since open beta. So I've been playing this game for a very long time, and obviously, as probably many of you are aware of, the fact that Wargaming has officially announced submarines. I know submarines are officially on the way to the game. Currently, they are going to be in a currently they're in a super test server, and then they'll be in their own game mode before being tweaked enough, I guess, to be in the official live server game. So, yeah, submarines are coming, and I really don't know how I feel about that, to be perfectly honest. I mean, it's kind of the whole issue with CVs, to be perfectly honest. CVs are fairly untouchable if played properly and your team doesn't die all immediately. They're fairly untouchable, and that's kind of how submarines are as well. And that's, I guess, the slight issue is how are you going to counter submarines, because historically it's usually the destroyers, but destroyers already have kind of a lot on their plate. They have to spot, they have to provide assistance taking out enemy destroyers, they have to cap, they have to pretty much counter battleships. And now they're adding on top of that submarines, having to deal with submarines and spotting them and dealing with them. And then it comes down to the issue, what happens if you lose all your destroyers? Because destroyers are, I mean, they're common, but they tend to either die very quickly or they're very susceptible to dying out. So that's the biggest issue. So what if it's just cruisers and battleships left? Obviously, they have to have some way of counteracting submarines, because every class is able to counteract, even if it's only battleships and destroyers. Destroyers have a severe advantage over battleships, but if the destroyers mess up, battleships can at least do something against them as well. So I guess that's the biggest issue, is the whole countering of submarines. And once again, the fact goes with that the carriers are kind of, I don't want to say broken, but they really changed the whole aspect of the game. And submarines are going to do the same. They're going to change the whole aspect of the game. It might turn out to be a good thing, it might turn out to be a bad thing. I won't know. No one really knows until they actually release it. So, overall, I would hate to say that I'm not excited, because I did enjoy playing the Halloween event with submarines. It was fun. Don't get me wrong, I actually enjoyed it. But I really don't know how it's gonna affect the game. And a lot of people are concerned. They're really concerned that it's going to break the game. It's going to basically push off a lot of the old players who play this game. And they kind of have come to accept how this game operates. So there is major concern with that, and I can fully understand. But like I said, we really won't know until it really comes down to it. Will Wargaming make the right decisions? Who knows? It's Wargaming. I really can't say. I really have very little voice in it. I'm just a player just like you guys. But it gets aggravating. I don't know. Like I said, don't really know. I am looking forward to it. I mean, it's submarines. It would be fun. And it was fun playing submarines. in that game mode. So anyway, that's kind of my thoughts on it. I thought I might as well talk about it. My biggest issue is just what would happen if you lose all your destroyers. How are you going to counter them? Because submarines are very stealthy. That's the whole point of a submarine, is to be stealthy, is to get those surprise attacks against those lumbering battleships. So yes. Anyways, let's actually talk about this battle. This battle, we decided to push up a long ridge, and we're being aggressive. I mean, we're playing a 3DD lineup, being very, very aggressive. Enemy team has managed to capture A and C. We're currently losing B because there is a destroyer down there. And here is probably the biggest issue we're having right now, is that Atago is still alive. That Atago lives for far too long, and it needs to go down, because the more time it takes to take out the Atago means the more time it could have been spent focusing on a different target. So that Atago needs to die. Unfortunately, we're going to lose our own Atago, but fortunately for us, our own Atago is going to at least get the final shot off on the enemy Atago. So we're at least even on ships. But things are pretty bad. We are down 3 caps. We were trying a new tactic, being hyper aggressive with it, just to see if it would work. And things aren't going so well. That's for sure. Things aren't going very well. We do manage to capture at least B. And I am taking the Edinburgh out because the whole meta has changed, as usual, which is actually very exciting. This is one thing I like about Tier 8 Clan Wars, is the meta changed quickly. Starting from the very beginning, it's changed to this more heavier DD meta, more focus on DDs, because at this tier, DDs are pretty powerful. The Akazuki, the Cossack, very powerful. As probably many who have been playing Clan Wars is aware, that a lot of teams, a lot of high-end teams have been doing a DD heavy meta. And it works. I hate to say it, but it works. So, do manage to capture B. We're at about 400 points down. Just lost our Lenin. So things are very, very much dire right now. Beginning to focus on the enemy Baltimore. Obviously, Baltimore fires AP. Might as well just turn in. No big issue. Now, the Edinburgh, it has its weaknesses for sure. Besides the armor, I'm more talking about the guns. The issue with the guns is, yes, against broadside targets, against destroyers, fantastic. Like, they're absolutely devastating. But if a target angles, or even slightly angles, even a slight angle, your AP starts to becoming very, very null and void. And it can be quite aggravating to see that you're just doing very minimal amount of damage. And this is very relevant, especially with the destroyers. Kievs, for certain. I've had battles against Kievs where they can essentially just charge me down, and I can't do jack diddly to them just because of the fact that they are able to ricochet the shells. So, fortunately, shots off at the Baltimore does go invisible, but we do manage the kill. And at the exact same time, we do manage to capture A. And now we're starting to get some points back, but they still have C, and we're still even on ships. We haven't lost. We have lost our battleship, which held the most amount of points, but we have all of our destroyers against 2 of the destroyers, a battleship and a cruiser, which is the Chappie. And the Chappie is going to be a pain because the Chappie does have very long range radar, which does mean Yudachi there is at least spotted by him and is very susceptible from hits from the Vladivostok. But fortunately for us, the Chappie does have a very short duration to its radar. So at least there is some comfort in that. Do manage to get some decent hits. Does look like the Chappie is starting to push back into A. Unfortunately, we have lost Yudachi and the Akizuki, and this is where things are really coming down the wire. Enemy team is at 960 points. We are starting to be capped out on A. It does look like the Cossack on our team is fighting the Loyang. And I just took a big hit from the Vladivostok, which is very, very annoying. At the very least, I am preventing him from fully capping A. But the only thing we can really do is to sink ships. And if he can at least sink a ship, there we go. There's the enemy Loyang that has pushed back their points a bit further. They're now at 924. Now, I'm actually able to at least get fairly decent damage on this Chappie, and it does look like our friendly Aki takes out the enemy Lightning, and that has brought us back even further, and this is where the Chappie realizes he probably should go invisible. And yeah, this is kind of, once again, the issue with the Edinburgh is a bow and target, there's too much armor for it to actually penetrate, and so you get a lot of ricochets and over pins. And honestly, I probably should have been much more aggressive. I should have been pushing towards A right this very minute. Darth is fighting against the Vladivostok. A little bit too close for comfort. But fortunately, Darth does have a lot of health, so he is able to at least take a decent amount of damage from him. But the fact that it took me so long to turn, and I was watching the minimap, I thought the Vladivostok had my number, but fortunately didn't. Unfortunately, now I have to rush to A. Wheeze does manage to get into the C cap, which has stopped the points, but they are still ticking points right now from the A cap. Chappie is wisely running away, because if I do manage to kill him, it will mean that we are able to bring back points. But right now, I have to get into A. I have to. If I do not get into A, they are just going to win on points, and in a little bit less than a minute, they are going to win. So really, really have to try to get towards that. Pop my Hydro. I don't know why. Maybe I thought the Chappie's 4-kilometer torpedoes could me. I don't know. I was getting tired at this point. So, bad thing about the Eddy is it's not a particularly fast ship. 34 knots, full speed. Not particularly amazing. They have 40 seconds before they win. Once again, Chappie is just running for the hills. Can't really do much as far as damage. And I am keeping an eye on that Vladivostok just in case that Vladivostok decides to try to aim at me. And a couple decisions wrong. I pop my damage control, being radar now, which does mean that the Chappie can still shoot at me. And this is where it gets intense. 990, and I'm still not yet in cap. 993, being hit by the Chappie. 996, not in cap yet. And 991, and a few seconds, just a few seconds would have meant the loss of this battle. Stop the clock at 999, and we get hit by the Chappie. Does set us on fire. We do have a heal. We're going to use that to at least keep us alive a little bit longer. But the fire does mean that the Chappie is still able to see us even at that distance. But fortunately, we're able to get decent space away, and obviously I'm not shooting. Why would I shoot at the Chappie? The Chappie's just gonna burn me down. That's what he wants. So right now I have to at least cap A. I can't step off. As soon as I step off, we're gonna lose, because they're gonna get that last point. And this is where it really gets kind of crazy, because now the Vladivostok is smartly deciding to try to push towards A. Chappie's trying to get turned around, but once again, Chappie is quite a bit away. And that Vladivostok needs to die. If that Vladivostok gets around this corner, it is definitely going to kill me. Or maybe at least overpen. But we do manage the cap. Now I'm trying to run away, because if it does kill me, they're going to win. But fortunately for us, the Vladivostok's so low on health. Shells land on him and kill him. And that is my second kill of the game. and that has secured the win for this battle. Somehow we managed to bring this back for a victory, and that is going to be it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the submarines down below. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zai Gen.